Hey everybody, welcome back to yet another episode of the DecompresSean Cast. Episode 7, I believe. Here we are, once again. Yet another month has gone by. The shortest month. February is now over. We are now heading into March. So there's a lot to talk about and a lot I'd love to update you guys on here in episode 7. And better news, I'll just say. Much better news than last month. I believe that it's kind of like I said before, I really let January get ahead of me, overall, I would say. But thankfully, this time around, much more and much better progress during February, I would say. Not perfect, I would say, by any means. Definitely slacked in a couple of key areas, but that's just me. I think that, having a balance, I always talk about balance on these podcasts. Between Rossius, Kaminas, etc. We all know that. I talk about it every single fucking time. But yeah, I think that's just kind of how I run shit as I take a sip of some beverage. So, I guess I'll just be frank with you guys. I mean, you know how it is. Like, I can't really do, or at least I don't find myself trying too hard to do too much of one side or the other. I would say if I lacked in one key area, though, I would say my sleep schedule. Still kind of fucked up. Did much better today, though. I don't know what it was. I don't know. My eyes were still a little bloodshot when I woke up, but, woke up a lot earlier today. And I'm hoping to bust out this good bad boy decompression before I head on over for a couple more last few homework assignments for the week. I'm going to wrap up some of those bad boys. So, yeah, how has this month gone since the last one? Last time was pretty eventful. I had some background imagery in the last episode. Thought that was pretty funny, pretty fun to edit. I'll make some adjustments this time. But oh boy, so much has happened since the last month. Man, I remember talking about Attack on Titan. You guys remember that? Of course, many episodes of the anime have come out. I think I still need to watch the most recent one. But yeah, it seems it's very interesting. We're probably going to get a new chapter in a couple of weeks, a week or two. And I'm very, very interested to see where Attack on Titan heads, of course. But yeah, I suppose besides that, re-listening to last month's episode, I don't think there was too much I wanted to retouch up on or anything I fucked up too hard or too much. Other than the actual look of the video. I don't know if any of you even cared or noticed or anything like that, but I need to decrease the feathering of the effect. I'll probably test it out with this cast just to make sure, but yeah, man, here we are. The shortest month gone by so fast. I mean, like I said, I definitely got a decent amount of work stuff done. But as you all know, I try to stay ahead on my school stuff, and that's what's really more important. Thankfully, too, I'm kind of encouraged by, a good friend group to, do the best I can and all that stuff. So I'm thankful for that. Especially this last week, social interaction, at least just over Discord and stuff, has been such a such a blast, just because of various things I'll get into. But yeah, what was something that happened recently, I guess? Man, I have so many points, so many great points to go over this week. Jesus, I don't even know where to start, in all honesty. I guess I already sort of gave you guys some updates on personal responsibility. Trying my best to take care of myself. I've been letting some things get away from me just a tad. Overall, I would say I need to be shaving a lot more. I cannot grow a beard for shit, or a mustache really at all. It's very patchy and uneven. So that's something I gotta try to do, sometime when I can carve out the time for it. And of course, here I am. I'm still trying to balance, work and school, and some of those things like shaving just tend to kind of breeze by. Probably gotta cut my nails here pretty soon. Not getting crazy long, maybe a millimeter or two or something like that, but still, I generally like to have short nails, obviously. But yeah, I suppose let's just get into a main topic, shall we? Let's just go sicko mode. Just go on a little rant, shall we? I'll introduce this topic broadly and then narrow my focus, okay? So, I would say that a keystone of my life, right, currently, right now, as I am sitting here, 20 years old, 11:43 a.m., March 1st, 2021, I find myself disenfranchised with the idea of franchises. So, if you've been in a call with me before, or, talk with me, message me, whatever, you probably know this kind of thing. I've probably said it before on this cast many times, but I would say that just with various franchises, Call of Duty, Pokemon, so many things. You guys already know I've even made videos on them. Last year for my daily video challenge, I made some videos about them, about these companies, these franchises. And overall, I'm just so disenfranchised with the thought of franchises. And the one that just, is a obvious one recently, this week especially, is Pokemon. Well, I'll be real with you, lads. There was a new trailer, a new Pokemon Direct kind of thing. And what did we get? We got Gen 4 remakes, but with a catch. They look reasonably faithful. The fields and everything, they look fine. But the character design and models look fucking horrible. They look okay and passable in battle, but in the field, they are these chibi, oh god, I don't even know what to say, just absolutely atrocious looking things. And also the overall art design of everything, there's no I don't know, it seems very soulless. And from a technical standpoint too, I think what I'm looking for here is there isn't any line work or outlines or strokes. Everything's kind of like gradients into each other and is this weird mishmash of color. And you can see this clearly pointed out on Barry's design, I believe. I noticed from Arsene in one of our servers, he posted an image of it, and you could see it was very obvious that it was missing something, and that's kind of one key thing was this more obvious line work or stroking of models and whatnot. And obviously I have so many more thoughts about Pokemon stuff that I'll get into, I guess, and especially that other strange looking game of this, they're trying to go for this open world look with these extremely low poly looking trees and shit, and I just don't really understand what they're going for, and especially since this remake, being handled by another team, it's clear that the main squad of Game Freak is probably working on the next major installment of the franchise rather than worrying about a remake, as is the case of Diamond and Pearl. In this case, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But, yeah, excuse me, I'm a little hesitant. And I guess I'll just explain my overall thoughts. Obviously, I would say that my general feeling, right, is that, I would love a Pokemon game on my Switch that I would actually play. That's clear, and that's something that, would occur if I actually liked the vibe of the Gen 4 remakes. But my current vibe is that I don't, and just the design and stuff. And I don't feel like, I feel like I'm going to be saving $60 this year, lads. You know what I mean? Just overall, I get the vibe of like, if I'm swimming in money and I don't really care, I guess I'll pick them up. But if I'm trying to conserve, or, if I'm like out of the country at the time on a vacation, because I think they said it's like fall or winter of this year, and I'll be done with school by then, so who knows what I'll be doing. And, I could be on vacation, I could be at a pro non-con or something, who knows. But let's just say that I'll probably be saving $60 this year, and the only reason if I were to buy would probably be if I got a job in the meantime and just had a lot of money and was bored, and just wanted to experience the game for myself. And while I've made these points, right, about the design, the art, the models, etc., what really is key for Pokemon, is it mechanically the same? Is the remake just for the art and stuff? How does that work? Because that is like the big question that we really, don't have an answer to right now, despite seeing a trailer and all that stuff. That's the thing about Pokemon, it's a strange specimen, really, of how, all they've wanted to do is, increase, the frequency of the releases of games, and, increase their profits, and all that kind of thing. And, it's an interesting beast to dive into. I guess I sort of I've gone off on many tangents here. I should return about the open world-y looking game. In that, man, I am not very interested in that game. That one seemed very confusing. The model, though, like the models of the past Sinnoh Pro tags, those looked very good. I don't understand why those weren't the models in the remake, but here we are. Yeah, fucking Pokemon. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't seem that interested in that that Arceus game, really, in all likelihood. That game, to me at least, looked very dissimilar to generalized, Pokemon mechanics and that kind of thing. Because I'm trying to remember of what we saw, right? What we saw was, it's this 3D run around, wild area looking, Breath of the Wild wannabe looking thing. In that, you control your character and you actually, like, throw the Pokeball or some shit. Like, we saw them throw a Pokeball at a Shinx. Clearly, that game, that Arceus game, is just not, consistent with what Pokemon mainline games usually are, right? And yeah, I mean, you guys can see. I'll try to remember to link this in the description. But just in case you're unaware, we did a little reaction stream to that presentation on the Pronon, and that's doing pretty good. I had a heartfelt, impassioned speech at the beginning, and I also got very sick because I stayed up all night and just was really nervous about some other side stuff, which sucked. So the good thing is, though, is that I got through, my speeches, and it was pretty epic. I would highly recommend going and watching at least the, what even is it? Like, maybe like the first 10 minutes or so of that stream, if you just have a little bit of time. If you want the rundown, if you're not interested, I remix Erwin's final charge speech into being about Pokemon, into being about the company. And I also had a bonus speech that I made like that morning or some shit, where I remixed a portion, an excerpt of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech into being about Pokemon, which is pretty fucking keck too. But yeah, that's Pokemon shit. That all happened. This has been an eventful week for reasons I'll get into, but obviously that was one major thing that happened earlier on, I would say. That was exciting to do. As much as my, body rejects, what seems to be stressful events, we can look back on them and laugh about these things. And hey, remember that time I, made a resounding speech to everyone and we all react to this mid-ass Pokemon Direct thingy? Makes for a good story. And that's something that's cool. Well, here we fucking are, man. I went off about Pokemon and other shiz for about almost 15 minutes. So I'm gonna do a little something different for the next point here. So typically, I go off on a big tangent typically about Nate content and stuff, and I'll be honest, nothing has really changed. I think you all understand, the bit by now, and the fact that yet again nothing has happened. If I were to say anything, I guess I would say that content is making all the money and is the main focus right now. And it sucks that things are the way they are, but obviously, bringing it up over and over again, not really much of a point, I guess. There's nothing to commentate on or over at the moment. There's no FF7 video yet. Nate was being a real dickhead on Twitter, but I suppose that's besides the point, really. Because, guys, just so you're aware, this is a quote, more or less, by the way. The FF7 video will only get funnier the longer you wait for it, the longer it takes to come out. Because that is a fucking Nate paraphrase of one of his tweets, because he is retarded. Because yes, people care about your video, about a video game that will be 1 year late. Good job. But yeah, I suppose that's enough. But I said this bit and then went into it. Little subversion there, but it was actually a double subversion because I wanted to talk about something else. So it's not about Nate, but it's about something he's involved in. That's right. I'm going to talk about Radcon a little bit. You guys know what Radcon is, right? Radcon for Paradise is something that I contributed to personally and contributed a fair bit to. 200. I was a 200 tier. And, man, I think it was more than 200 too, right? Because, shipping or some shit. But anyways, that's besides the point. Radcon 4, right? It's the event where the members of the PCP and co. and friends gather to make a lot of interesting, cool, kind of landmark content, really. And there's been a lot of drama, let's just say, in the past few days. Guess I'll let you guys in on some insider information. If you did not pledge to Radcon 4, or at least the Kickstarter for it, there is a server where all of the essential $100 and up, I believe, people are in. And the thing about that is that, the PCP and all the 100 plus people are in there. And it's a pretty exclusive-y kind of server. But the thing is that people, it's been a year, almost, right? People are starting to get pretty antsy about a lot of the stuff associated with it. And me included, I definitely empathize, I believe is the term we're looking for here, with the concerns of the masses and just wondering where a lot of this content is. Because I'll be honest with you guys, waiting a whole year for some content for something that was filmed a year ago seems pretty insane to me. I don't know about you guys. And I get, you may be, if you're paying close attention, you may be wondering, oh, Sean, that's kind of hypocritical, don't you think? You've filmed your lecture, and I'll give updates on that, of course, later in this podcast itself. But let's be real here. Something that was filmed literally a year ago. I mean, it is March now. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary in just a couple of weeks. Something that was filmed that long ago. Something that I at least assume is not 8 hours long, like mine, mind you. What is the reasoning for it not coming out? Just lectures in general, of course. Nothing specific so far here. But there's a clear delineation to me of the members of the PCP and showing who actually cares, who is getting cucked, who's doing their job, who's not doing their job, who's just kind of like not paying attention, like who's being an aloof asshole. You guys can probably already tell if you're, in the know, but I guess I'll just kind of go down the list, I guess, of so if you couldn't already tell, Nate, he's kind of the aloof asshole, who's not really, he's quote-unquote running things behind the scenes, but, we obviously don't know what any of that entails, and to be honest, it doesn't seem like that much, and that's really not including the fact that his lecture isn't out, and the reasoning being that he's waiting on the other stuff in order to release it. But I don't know about you guys, but it's the same bad meme, right? Of, oh, the longer you wait, it'll be funnier. Like, that's such a shit meme. Like, yeah, man, you're 1 year late on the joke. Congrats. You want a fucking reward? I'm probably gonna dislike the fucking videos. Let's be real here. It's grown to that point where the cynicism has almost been overtaken by this like nigh melancholic feeling of like these guys had so much potential. We gave them $34,000 $34,000 on Kickstarter for this. For what? For content to come out a year later? For them to just ask for more money? For them to just can content that already exists and already was filmed? No, like, that's so shitty, And because, it's such a weird thing of, Kickstarter isn't a direct, you're paying for a service, like, exactly. It's this weird nebulous, well, you're pledging for a thing that, and the money is like being frozen and stuff. Okay, fuck everything I just said. The point is, let's just get to the meat and potatoes, the juicy bits, the drama, right? What's really going on? What's really happened? Basically, if you're unaware, within the last few days, some people were, I guess last week and a half, 2 weeks maybe even, people have been kind of expressing their concerns within the Discord, just wondering what's the deal with a lot of the content. A vast majority, well, I wouldn't say a vast majority, but a hefty portion of the Radcon content just isn't out yet for XYZ reason. And people were just expressing their concerns in various ways, various supporters, people who pledged $100, $150, $200, even $1,000 for Radcon. And a lot of those concerns were just very understandable and very heartfelt to me. I know it's kind of a meme to, it's easy to make fun of people for typing these essays, but it's that sort of meme of, Chad yes versus, seething virgin typing essay. Although it is it's an ironic meme, right? Because in the typical fashion, the seething nerd or whatever who typed the essay, like, is correct usually, or something like that, as opposed to, Chad, yes, one word answer guy, people, sometimes have a hard time understanding irony these days. But as easy as it is to poke fun, those guys were generally right. We are kind of in the right to complain that, like, the content, it's been literally a year. Like, where is some of this shit? Like, it was filmed a year ago. It's not something that's been, like, lost to the wind. Like, it's already content that just exists, but there are choices being made to just not release it. And overall, I think that is just such a poor outlook. It's definitely made me and others very unhappy and just very uninterested in supporting a Radcon 5, especially right now. Obviously, they kind of have a deal, at least I think. I don't know. I don't want to be, quote, citation needed, but they want to have, like, a Radcon, like, every 2 years or something. And the fact is that, like, we're already going to be approaching the next one, but we don't even have everything from the last one. And it's been kind of semi a consistent theme, or meme, really, that, like, the promises of previous Radcons not being 100% fucking... what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like, dot their I's and cross their T's. Like, it's not 100% fulfilled, usually, or at least that it takes a long time. And don't get me wrong, right? I give these guys some benefit of the doubt in the fact that some things should take long. This whole, like, animated OVA episode animation studio thing, like, I understand. That should take some time. If it's been a year and that still isn't out, I can understand. But something like a lecture that was filmed an entire year ago, that I cannot give, almost any benefit of the doubt for. And I guess I've been dodging around this. I don't know why. I've just been going on so many tangents. But the point is this. After people kind of were saying those heartfelt messages, Trixie, felt the need to challenge everyone in there in a very, I don't know, antagonistic? I don't know, that's not exactly the word I'm looking for. But I guess that sort of works. In a very just, like, mean way of, like, there's this, like, entitlement of just, like, it's my art. I can do what I want with it. It doesn't matter that you gave me money. I don't owe you anything. And it was just, like, maybe the biggest meltdown I've ever seen in a fucking Discord server. And to the point where Trixie left the Radcon 4 server after so much just kind of arguing and bickering and beating around the bush, really. It's really comedic that that Trixie decided to do this and really just shot her own credibility in the foot, especially with the absolute Chad retard line. This absolute based one-liner. It was something along the lines of, it's like I said, like, it doesn't matter that you gave me money directly. I don't owe you anything, or some shit. And that was just so retarded in so many ways. And it was very funny. And, we do a little trolling. We do a little trolling around here. But it is very comedic for a lot of reasons. Personal friends, obviously, we're kind of arguing and debauching. And there's a funny meme I like to tout just because, and it's the fact that, like, Digi typed this mini essay, and I just simply responded with a picture of Weird Champ, right? So the closed mouth Pog Champ, right? Like, looking all like, yo, that's kind of sus, right? And then Trixie responds, "Got something to say." And then the fact that this whole debacle went down of this absolute meltdown of Trixie and her leaving the server was just absolutely top tier, absolutely funny. And just here I am, just like laughing on the sidelines, and it's just absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth the $200 fucking dollars now. Not just for that, of course, for the actual rewards too. But the deal with that is, like, we got those months ago. Many, many months ago, too, by the way. And that's where my discussion really was going to go of Chads of the PCP and the versions of the PCP. Chads are Tom, Gib, Ben. I mean, if you want to talk a general sense of Radcon, I guess you can throw in, like, Jesse and Munchie. Definite versions of the PCP are obviously Nate and Digi. But yeah, I mean, like, just overall, the follow-up, the communication, the humanization of, some members of the PCP is very, helpful in these trying times, that, they actually communicate. They don't act all entitled about art or anything like that. And it's been really hard to convince Trixie to do anything. And especially ever since this whole, Blu-ray meme debacle from years ago. And it was really funny because one of the reasons cited for that, the whole Blu-ray thing, was not having a Blu-ray burner and, like, not wanting to spend the money on one. So Cetal, right, good friend, absolutely Chad move, just buys one to send to the Content P.O. box that they just launched. Which is so fucking funny. What a Chad move. What a power move. By Cetal. And she can do that because she has a job and money. And that was really funny. I guess if I had to summarize the last little while about what I've been talking about, it would be this. The absolute state of the PCP. Here we are. 1 year anniversary. Get hype, my guys, get hype. 1 year Annie. 34K. Radcon 4. The jokes only get funnier as time goes on, Kappa. But yeah, I suppose that summarizes Nate talk, but not. But instead subbing it out for PCP and Radcon 4 talk. And get blown the fuck out by yourself, Trixie. And, I was going to mention some other things, actually, just really quick before I move on. Tom, so based, he actually sent out, finally, a, like, project update or whatever. And I was going to say something about this, too. But thankfully, Tom made one. The last one was, like, June 2020 or some shit. And we finally got one. That was, like, it was huge. It was honestly, like, the best communication from the PCP, in months, in maybe years, in all honesty. The fact that, in the fact that Tom gave this project update on Kickstarter, finally, and he went through like almost every single like mini project and like gave an update on it, and that was just like, wow, like king shit, deadass, like based Tom, holy shit. But yeah, I think that was all I had to say on that. If I remember anything, I'll try to come back. But let's just move on to another major point. Which I think, actually, I kind of went over 2 of my major points already. So I guess here we are, 35 minutes in. Actually, probably a little less than that on the video, because I'll chop some stuff out. But lecture. let's finally get an update on the lecture, shall we? So last time when we left off, I told you all I had only done maybe one or two maybe major editing sessions for the lecture, and I was probably 1/6 of the way editing through the video. If you guys remember what I said at the beginning of the podcast, lots and lots of fucking progress on this guy, thankfully. So here's the deal with the lecture. Here's where it's at right the fuck now, okay? 12:13 p.m., March 1st, 2021. The lecture. The video aspect for the lecture more or less is 100% edited, and what I mean by that is that the irrelevant portions, the break portions, and those portions are all chopped out. And I don't know if you guys remember, I said the lecture was something around almost 8 hours. It was 7 hours, 50 minutes or some shit. I'll let you guys know right now. The lecture has been edited to be under 6 hours at the moment. I don't want to give a final amount of time. I believe what it is at currently is 5, 8 or 9 or some shit, 5 hours, 58 minutes, something like that. But here, there is a big asterisk on this though for a few reasons. One, my beginning portion and all my syncs are still in the video currently for obvious reasons. So one thing is that will reduce time drastically, I believe. That'll save me a few minutes, I believe, because we do something 12 syncs or some shit. And even then, if it's only 6 seconds, obviously it's not 6 seconds per sync. It's a little more than that. But let's just say it was 6 times 12. That's a minute right there, right? That's a minute saved. But it's definitely more than that. The lecture, yeah, it's fully edited. But when I remove the syncs and some other portions, it'll shorten down just a little more. So maybe it'll be 5, 6 or 7. But then I will need to make some additions. Honestly, I'm still trying to work out some kinks. I'm gonna do some skit inserts, kind of things maybe at a point or two. I know there's one for sure that I'm gonna do something with. And then obviously I'm still tossing around some ideas. I'm thinking of an epilogue video would be kind of neat. I'm definitely gonna have a cool referential ending, but I might just make it its own video. I'm not really too certain on that bit. Obviously, I'm still gonna need a trailer, but that's gonna come much later. So I'll just get down to the brass tacks, right? Where is the lecture currently? Where does it stand right now? And how would I describe its progress? I would describe it as this. So I went through the entire thing, right? One time. I gave it its once over of cutting out everything from the main video, just the main video, and most of my audio as well. But I haven't adjusted my audio. Excuse me, I'll probably still need to do that. So here's the deal, right? It's not a done video, and here's why. I have everyone's individual audio. So now what I need to do, what is next for the lecture, is to add in and sync everyone else's audio, and then basically give it a whole once-over again. So what this will probably entail... I don't even want to give rough estimates, right? Because there's really no telling about how long this might take, especially if I run into a lot of problems or kinks. But my general thought is that once I reinsert everyone's audio and then give it the once over again, it's probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark of, another 6 hours just to go through the entire thing again. And then that's not even counting the editing I would do along the way. Obviously, I'm going to need to do something about that. So, yeah, the deal is that I think I've synced, like, jellies and Ceetals. I think I need to sync, like, everyone else's, basically. It's a lot of people. It's, like, 6 other people overall. And, yeah, I'm going to need to resync and re-edit everyone's audio, give it another once-over. And then at that point, I will probably need to give it at least one more once-over, in all likelihood, for any, like, last-second edits, adding in, like, appropriate imagery, and adding in any, like, additional skit stuff that I want to throw in there. Adding in just overall effort, really, that'll, like, the third once-over was probably what I'm looking forward to the most, where everything just kind of is what it is, and then I can kind of just play with it. What I'm doing right now is kind of the busy work, of syncing and tons of cutting and adjustments and that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of a big... That's where the lecture's at, really. I don't really know if I can really go into much more detail. I guess I can say this. Commission work, going great. 2 commissions are done. I definitely need to slow down a little bit here. Stumbling over my own words. Commissions are going well, though. Definitely need more. I'm reaching out slowly over time to various people. It is all going well. And if you're in the know, if you're within the range or the sphere of the PCP, or like formerly or whatever, hey, I'm pretty disenfranchised myself. We're hopefully their names you should know. I'm commissioning good people, good artists I know and have found through the community. And I am hoping that the imagery only aids the lecture, and you'll be able to recognize and remember the characters that I talk about. That's something I noticed giving the lecture its once over, was imagery is going to be super important. I'm going to need to throw a lot of imagery on screen, maybe even some videos. And yeah, I don't know if I talked about this last time on the DecompresSean, but now I know I'll just do it just cause. But I downloaded the entire series of GX onto my computer. I don't know if I talked about that, but yeah, it's very useful for just overall having the video files, just so I can remember things, what episode things were on. I can insert appropriate clips. I just need to handbrake them because they're in MKV. But otherwise, it's a useful tool for me to have, I would say. And I also downloaded the movie, the BBT movie, that you guys will, if you don't know about it, you'll find out about it then. But yeah, I guess what would I give for like a timetable? I would say here's probably my goal. So, like, no hard deadlines, right, for obvious reasons, but my goal is probably this. My school's term is almost over, so what I'll probably do is, I don't want to, like, yeah, no guarantees here. When this term is over, I'll get a short break, okay? I will get a short break for, like, a week or some shit, right? Just because that's how school kind of is. You know what? I'm going to look up the exact date timeline, just because I don't want to, like, majorly, either under or overestimate how much time I have. But yeah, I'm gonna look for my school calendar really quick, just so I can get an idea, right, of overall, just kind of fucking, I don't know, timeline. I just want my timeline. I want my timeline. Okay, here we go. I am here. Okay. Finals week for me okay, so yeah, we're in like week 9 right now, I believe. We're starting week 9. So next week is week 10. Week after that is finals week. Week after that, the term ends. Then classes begin on the 29th. Okay, wow. Actually, I might not get a lot of time then. I might get like a week. But here's what I'll try to do. I'll set a goal for this DecompresSean Cast. No hard promises. It's just a goal. I will try to get my second once over done during that in between week. I might. How about it? Yeah, it'd be nice in the meantime to like get everything synced as well. I don't know. The once overs wouldn't theoretically take that long, in theory, because of course, since the last DecompresSean, as you can tell, I mean, I got through the rest of it very quickly in the span of like a couple of handful of days. I got through the other whatever it was 5/6 of the once over. But yeah, I suppose that's pretty much everything, lads. That's it. That's all my lecture update progress on editing, its completion, commissions, guests. Oh, did I talk about guests? I don't know. Obviously, I think I talk about it every time. It's something that I'll only do like once it's like kind of finished editing. I'll try to hit some peeps up. Don't know how that'll go, but we'll see. But yeah, I've definitely talked about what's still needed, what I've done, what I've accomplished, the timetable, that kind of thing. There was no new Nate video, so we skipped over that. We briefly had Nate talk, but it spiraled into Radcon 4 talk. We talked about the state of the PCP. I gave you guys some updates on personal fucking responsibility, my thoughts on balancing of work, school, fun, and overall disenfranchisement with franchises and Pokemon. My smile and optimism is no more. But yeah, quite an eventful one. Little longer for you guys. Just so y'all had the deets. Actually, it wasn't that long. It was actually probably about average. 48 minutes. No fucking problemo. Thanks for listening, lads. This has been your monthly update of the DecompresSean Cast. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to fucking ding the dong and smash the like button. And I'll see you next time. Bye.